Well, it's Friday, and it's Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. With Debbie Georgianni, I am Jerry Usher. What everyone's talking about, well, every day, most days I should say, we come up with a topic, put it out there, and you take it and run with it. But Debbie, we are on that one show a month where we really rely on the listeners to put the kind of set the table with whatever topic they want to address.
We come with nothing, dear listeners. Nothing at all. This is the monthly... Empty-handed. This is the monthly Unscripted show, and what that means is you can ask us anything. Okay, wait a minute. Almost anything. You can revisit past shows. You can suggest future topics. You could just share anything that's on your mind or your heart. We're here to listen. It's Unscripted. We do it once a month. We've been doing it now. How long have we been doing it? Is it from the beginning?
Since shortly after we launched, yeah, probably 4 years.
Wow, that's too cool. It's such a popular show. So anything you want to talk about, it's Friday. We want to get going into the weekend with a clear mind, a clear heart. So do that on Unscripted, will you? 833-288-3986. Jerry, why is it that I'm always punchy on Fridays? I don't know what it is.
I don't know.
What's my problem?
Well, as Debbie
I have
said,
an issue.
Anything goes, anything goes. And what we want to do is talk to you about whatever is on your mind or on your heart. Maybe it's, I don't know, a family thing going on. Maybe you're looking at, like Debbie and I, the holiday Christmas decorations out in the stores already, and you're going, how are we going to have to do this all over again? It could be your prayer life. How's your prayer life going? Maybe you're a student. You've been back in school for a few weeks, and you just want to say how that is going. And as Debbie said, any of the past shows, if you tried to get on or wished you could have called in and weren't able to, then you can call and be on this show today at 833-288-3986. That's 833-288-EWTN.
Or you can text us. You text the letters EWTN to 55000. We receive a lot of texts, and we get them right away. You can email us, take2@EWTN.com. Jerry is so good about reading every few seconds the emails. I do it as well, but Jerry's faster than I am. And then, how else? YouTube. Oh, hi, guys, on chat. YouTube, Facebook. You guys, I know you have some really active chat rooms going. That is awesome. But you know what? How about call in and speak to Ryan Penny? We were just talking about how he's everybody's favorite. Okay, so you want to talk to Ryan before you get going on the weekend. 833-288-3986. I'm not really keeping Ryan very humble, am I?
I don't know. But yeah, it's Unscripted today on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. As Debbie said, we have come to the table empty-handed or empty-tongued, if you will. We don't have a topic to put out there right now. We can come up with a lot of things, and we can spend the whole hour just chit-chatting between ourselves or with you if you call in. But we really want you to talk about what's going on in your life, in your world, school or church, worship, prayer. Maybe your prayer life is really great, or maybe you're struggling a little bit in your prayer life. Maybe you've taken on some recent new, spiritual disciplines or a life regimen or something. Anything that's going on, how we can tie that into our faith, things going on in the church. There's a lot going on in the church, a lot going on in the world right now.
That's right.
And Debbie, we just want to have, gather around, sort of the coffee table here, I guess, and have a conversation. Yeah, virtual coffee table. So
we've kind of coined that phrase. You do realize that, right?
Virtual everything. Right?
Virtual everything. We're virtually with you right now. There you go. Can I share something? It's kind of on the light side, but I just wanted to share this with our listeners because we're family. Okay. I tend to be more of a dog lover, although I do like cats. Don't get me wrong. I like cats. Okay. But we have a new neighbor that moved in, and they're a wonderful couple. And I did not know that they had a little gray cat. But I soon found out when the cat came into our garage and our house and decided to roll over and play like a dog. It was really cute. So I realized that it wasn't a stray cat, which was good. I said to my husband, you should probably go down and see and greet the new neighbors and say, is this your cat? Sure enough, it's their cat. He's very well groomed, beautiful. His name is Bowtie. And I'm looking at him right now. He actually sits right outside my window every morning now during the show. So I just wanted to let you know I now have a cat.
Wow, congratulations. How does Gracie feel about that?
Bowtie has not made it into the backyard yet. See, Gracie mostly hangs out in the backyard, so I'm waiting for that to happen. It could be disastrous. If I have to run, you know there's going to be a fight, a dog
All
and
right,
cat fight.
833-288-EWTN. This is a show where you bring the topics. 833-288-3986. We can talk about anything. Maybe you got a little challenge going on with one of your kids. Maybe it's a marital or relationship deal. Maybe you're a cancer thriver like Debbie. Debbie went through cancer one time and now doesn't consider herself a survivor but a thriver. Maybe you've got some kind of an illness going on. Maybe you've got a prayer intention. This is we're just gathered around, just chit-chatting here on Unscripted, and it just helps. I think it helps the Take Two family bond a little bit more together, and we can all raise each other up and share a comment or two in a conversation here. So again, the number is 1-833-288-3986.
Okay, that's very funny, you guys. You're all sending me meow texts. Okay, that's real cute. All right. Yep, I got it. Yes, Bowtie is looking right at me at the window right now. Jerry, we have some housekeeping we've got to do. We have our October webinar, October 15th, with Father Donald Calloway, okay? And he's going to be talking about the consecration to St. Joseph, his new book, and also, of course, the rosary. So, folks, next week, we'll have the registration for that on jerryanddebbie.com, jerryanddebbie.com. But right now, we're starting the book club Tuesday, October 1st. It's The Lamb Supper by Dr. Scott Hahn. We got a lot of emails last night saying, I got lamb something, but I didn't get. It's The Lamb Supper by Dr. Scott Hahn, or Scott Hahn. At the time, he was just Scott Hahn. He became Dr. Scott Hahn. But The Lamb Supper. So get your books, and then information is on jerryanddebbie.com. Okay.
Yeah, and how's that going to work, by the way? People just get the book and they read it, and then Gigi's going to facilitate this on our website, a chat about the book? Is that what's going to happen? That's
exactly right. Okay. It's going to be a chat room going on jerryanddebbie.com, and you just check in periodically, and Gigi will be posting some inspirational messages, some questions, some reflection things that she wants you to think about, because she's very passionate about everybody never looking at the Mass the same way again after reading the Lamb's Supper. And if you've ever read it, it's so true. Wouldn't you agree, Jerry? Dr. Scott Hahn did a great job.
I would. Okay, you hear that music. It is time for us to line up your phone calls, and we will get to them next. Lines are full right now, so when one becomes available, you can bring your own topic to our Unscripted program. Once a month, we do this here on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. We're going to be right back. Sarah, you will lead off, and we got a lot of others, so don't go anywhere on this Friday. I'm Jerry Usher.
And I'm Debbie Georgiani.
You're not going to want to miss the next free Jerry and Debbie live webinar with Father Donald Calloway, scheduled for Tuesday, October 15th at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific. Father Calloway will share his amazing insights into the Holy Rosary, and we'll also discuss his new global movement to encourage us all to consecrate ourselves to St. Joseph. Remember, our webinars are absolutely free, and you have to register online at jerryanddebbie.com.
Coming up later today on Cresta in the Afternoon.
A Jesuit preparatory school in Indianapolis announced this week that the Vatican has suspended a decree prohibiting the school from calling itself Catholic. The announcement has led to speculation and debate about the likely outcome of their appeal. We take a look at the canon law and the morality involved with canon lawyer J.D. Flynn.
Cresta in the Afternoon, 4 p.m. Eastern on EWTN Radio. Unplanned, the true story of Abby Johnson.
I would be the youngest director in Planned Parenthood history.
She believed in a woman's right to choose.
I've had an abortion myself, so I don't have any problem with another woman making the same decision.
Until the day she saw something that changed everything.
Tiny, perfect little baby. And then it was just gone.
Now she's pulling back the curtain on the abortion industry. Unplanned.
Available at EWTNRC.com and the EW.
Welcome to Unscripted here on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. So please call in when a line becomes open, like Jerry said, at 833-288-3986. Tonight, 6 Eastern Time, Catholic Answers Live. Okay, folks, the first hour, help me out with this. Father David McConey, is it?
McConey, yeah.
McConey, I did it. Is he Italian? Is he Monsignor? Oh, no, Monsignor Eugene Morris is going to be with, I guess.
Yeah,
go ahead.
These are all speakers. Catholic Answers is at their annual conference, remember? At a beautiful hotel in San Diego area.
Wasn't it La Jolla? In La Jolla?
La Jolla, yeah.
Yeah,
it's their
very cool.
annual apologetics conference.
Okay, yeah. So Father David McConey and Monsignor Eugene Morris, Why the Church Fathers Matter. That's hour number 1. Hour 2 is Father Paul Check, Crisis in the Church and the Path Forward. Folks, this is a good one. You want to catch that conference that they're having on location in La Jolla, California. It sounds really good. We were listening to it yesterday. So check it out tonight at 6 Eastern Time. Jerry, I was stumped. Okay, we're getting a question that just came in. I'm gonna defer to you because you may know the answer. Someone wants to know if the webinar is on Twitter too. I have no idea. Is it on Twitter?
I don't believe it is, actually. No, not at this point. I don't think. No.
Okay. The answer is not at this point.
Not at this point.
Okay.
All right, it's Unscripted. Thank you for your patience, every one of you. A line did open up, so if you want that, it's 833-288-3986. As promised, Sarah, thanks for your patience during the pause there in San Antonio, listening on Guadalupe Radio. Hi, Sarah. Welcome to Take Two and Unscripted.
Hello. How are you doing?
Doing pretty well, Sarah. How about you?
I'm well, thank you. I just wanted to talk about God's providence for a minute. You know,
Okay.
my husband and I have 2 children, age 2 and age 5 months, and we're going through a transition period where we both are getting new jobs. My husband's been at his new job for about 6 weeks. We just moved. We've got 2 little babies at home. I actually start my job next week, and we were actually for a little while struggling to, make ends meet. And I went to the grocery store about a week or 2 ago, and the cashier said, that'll be $31.91, and I had $32 in my pocket at that point.
Oh, my. Wow.
And God is just so good. We've not gone hungry. Our kids are fed. Our kids are wonderful. We are making ends meet. Just that particular day, just God allowed exactly what I needed.
Wow. God will provide. I mean, that's definitely you're living proof of that, Sarah. We're so happy for you. I mean, look at all the wonderful blessings you have around you. 2 beautiful children. Okay, now you're both in new jobs. Okay, so it's a new adventure. I mean, these are all new things, new experiences, and new growth spurts that you're going to be having. Obviously, with a 2-year-old and a 5-month-old. So, Sarah, you've got so much to be grateful for. I just think it's wonderful. And I pray that you relish every moment, because I will tell you, it's going to be a blink of the eye, and those 2 beautiful little children are going to be walking off to college, and you're going to go, how did that happen?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to just savor the moment, because if there's one thing I learned from my daughter growing up is I blinked and she's 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, and Sarah, as you were talking, the word faith just came to my mind so very, very much. I mean, obviously, you have the name Sarah. Remember Abraham and Sarah, and in faith, believing in God. They had a beautiful child. In Sarah's old age, and I'm just hearing you say, it sounds like there was a lot of uncertainty as you were traveling this path with you and your husband and your family. I call them prayers of the feet. You just took the next step, praying all the way along. God, please provide, not really knowing, with certainty what was going to happen. And now you've seen God's providence unfolding in your life because of your obedience and your faithfulness. So I think that's absolutely beautiful, Sarah.
I agree.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'll let the next caller in.
Okay.
But
Thanks,
have a wonderful day, and just add me to your prayer list, please.
Absolutely. And have a beautiful weekend.
You as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And we've got a fellow resident of San Antonio up next, and Mary's up next in San Antonio on Guadalupe Radio Network. Hi, Mary. Do you know Sarah, Mary?
No, prayers for Sarah.
Okay.
Good.
Maybe she's sitting in her parking lot talking just like I am here, enjoying my greatest lunch hour that I've ever had right now. Woo.
Awesome.
Thank you. That's awesome.
Yeah, I just had a question in general. I guess it was answered during the commercial break, something about Father David Calloway having a webinar on the rosary. I go, ooh, well, I guess that answers my question.
Well, do you want to share with Mary?
Yeah. No. Well,
Go ahead, Mary.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I was just going to say my question was just any feedback from either of you two I've been getting more and more into praying the rosary, and I was reading on Teresa. I've been reading Teresa of Avila, John Paul II, etc. And even something that struck me about Teresa Varela, she said it's best to pray one decade of the Rosary prayerfully, and then start rushing or doing all 5 decades and doing it not as wholeheartedly or as faithfully. Any comments on that, or how you might recommend, what, I don't know, any feedback, books, or things that you think might be helpful for me?
Well, yeah, actually, Father Donald Calloway's books, Rosary Gems, or his big book,
Champions of the Rosary.
Champions of the Rosary, which is wonderful.
I have that one.
You do?
Good,
okay.
Good.
Well, and it talks about that. I think you're referring to when Our Lady appeared to the children at Fatima, and she talked about really, taking time and not just rushing through. However, Mary, I will tell you that other cultures do say the Rosary at a rapid pace, and I don't know necessarily if that's I
don't like that. I'm more contemplative, and I've even heard of, I don't know, to me this sounds kind of cheesy, forgive me, but I've heard of all this applying aromatherapies and all this. I don't know. To me, that sounds too hippie. I don't.
No, I agree with that. Yeah, you don't want to get into that, Mary. You don't want to. I mean, you can just be in a quiet place. But I just wanted to get back to this real quickly. What I was saying is other cultures tend to maybe take on the Rosary in different ways, and that's not necessarily such a bad thing. It doesn't mean it's irreverent or anything like that. And then some people say, well, you shouldn't be saying it while you're driving in the car or doing your chores. And then I've heard other priests and other people that are schooled in the faith say, no, that's not true because everything we do is a prayer. And so I think this is what I would just say. Now, I'm not speaking on behalf of the church. This is just Debbie talking now. I think whatever works for you and your situation. And the reason why I say that is I really get some really great quality time, prayerful, meditative time when I'm in the car. I just do. It's something about me. I was like this as a little kid. As a matter of fact, when I was just a toddler, my brothers and sisters used to have to drive me around on a golf cart in our backyard to put me to sleep because I loved the motion, and it's just something that's me. Okay, so I do better that way. Other people, it has to be in a quiet room or an adoration chapel, or some people have prayer rooms in their closets, prayer tables in the corners of their houses. So I think it just depends. I think it's very individual. It's very, unique to each person. But I would just say fall in love with the Rosary and really go deep with understanding how biblical it is. And meditating on that and actually seeing, like, for instance, when you talk about the visitation, okay, actually picture Mary talking to Elizabeth and John, jumping in Elizabeth's womb. Okay, picture all that. It's very, very important to get. Go ahead, Mary.
I've been doing that. I've been reading the Contemplative Rosary. With your sidekick there, Dan Burke, and what's that? rcspiritualdirection.com. He does. There's a great. They send me a little book on that, and I'm reading that, and that one has been very, very helpful.
Well, you've got some great research. Yeah, you've already availed yourself of some great resources, Mary. So that's fantastic. And Debbie took a couple of the comments that I was going to make. One is the Rosary is merely, as I think some great saints have called it, a compendium of the gospel. So I would say definitely couple your praying of the Rosary with reading Scripture, and maybe find that there are a lot of little booklets, Mary, that have. They help you pray the Rosary, and they have descriptions, meditations on each of the mysteries, so you can read those and pray, and maybe spend about 5 minutes just letting that soak in. As Debbie said, envisioning each of the mysteries in your mind, and that'll help you enter into it so much more deeply, I believe, and then you're not worried about it being rote prayers or just distracted or whatever. I think it just helps you concentrate a lot better.
Great, and I'll check out that Rosary Gems that you mentioned. I had not heard of that one, but I will do that. Thank you so much. Thank you for all you do.
Thanks, Mary. Thank you. Have a beautiful weekend.
You too. Prayers. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Phone line open there at 833-288-3986. Take two with Jerry and Debbie once a month on the last Friday of the month. We offer Unscripted. We just want to talk about what you want to talk about, so feel free to grab that open phone line. All right.
Can I just say something real quickly? So Father Donald Calloway will be with us. People are asking again to repeat it. The webinar is October 15th. Go to jerryanddebbie.com. The information will be there probably around October 1st, but we're launching the book club October 1st, so that's our first priority. Jerry, real quickly, I just want to go back to what Mary said about, sometimes, people can with good intention, but can kind of get new agey, if you will, with the rosary. I'm all for, certain oils like lavender to help you to sleep and this and that. You don't have to introduce those kinds of things with the rosary. The rosary is powerful all by itself. Okay. I just want to state that because sometimes it can kind of fall into that new age kind of feeling. And that's not what the rosary is about.
Right. All right, thank you, Deb. Therese is next, listening on Beriga Radio in Michigan. Hi, Therese or Therese. Help me out. Which one is it, please?
Hello, it's the French, Therese.
Oh, Therese. Welcome. Beautiful name. Thank you so much. Beautiful saint your name for. How are you?
Okay, thank you. Oh, thank you. Well, I'm really glad to be on your program today. So thank you for the opportunity. I feel like I was inspired through lots of prayer and spiritual direction to write a blog. The blog is about something that's a hot topic these days, suicide prevention. And I think that the blog, that it came out of a lot of prayer, a lot of continuing prayer, can benefit a lot of people. I think it can decrease a lot of suffering and prevent a lot of suicides. The suicide is now the second leading cause of death for 10 to 24-year-olds in this country. So I think through the direction of my spiritual director and the Holy Spirit, I feel like this blog is unique. It's the story, the first part of it is the story about how God intervened in my life when I was in a very serious, very low, very bad place. And it includes a toolkit about coping mechanisms and how to deal with suicidal thoughts. And then it has some weekly posts, inspirational posts, about carrying on. And I think the fact that it's very, very Catholic. It talks about Mary, both Mary and the Holy Spirit and Jesus always being with us, and that we can call upon them. And that the bishop has encouraged me to attempt to get this published, as has my spiritual director. But I'm having difficulty getting it out there. I'm getting very few hits. And I wondered if you might have any hints that would help get the word out about this blog.
Yeah, well, what came to my mind, Therese, several things. One, if you would email us at take2@EWTN.com, take2, you can spell it out, the number 2, or just put the digit. It's take2@EWTN.com. And we would love to take a look at your blog and your site and maybe post a link to it on today's radio show archive. But I just want to say you are doing, Therese, you are, by the Holy Spirit's prompting, you are getting into, I think, one of the most important ministries that anybody can have in today's world. Like you said, suicide has become the second leading cause of death among that demographic you mentioned. I think it was about 18 to 24 or something. But, tragically, Debbie, you may have seen this too. I mean, on the news the other night, they were talking about this one aircraft carrier had four servicemen commit suicide. They weren't all on the boat at the same time, but they had been. And they said there were like 350 military suicides in just this year alone, I believe, if I had that right. And in the military, Debbie, and in the police force, the stigma around this is just one that has to be crushed and broken, Debbie, because depression and things like that are very, very real. And suicides can be prevented if we all understand it better and have a conversation about it.
Absolutely. And Therese, I just want to echo what Jerry said. Thank you for taking on this beautiful ministry. Please email us. And I think it's so necessary. We had Luke Maxwell was our guest in August, and he was a young boy that took his family minivan and tried to take his own life when he was a teenager. And you know what? When people fall to that level of despair, they feel like that's the only way to get relief. We need to give people the opportunities and the options available to them, and the love and the care, because so many are dealing with brain health issues. And so, Therese, I just want to say, I pray, I'm going to take this on this afternoon. Please, folks, if you can do this, a lot of us are in the middle or towards the end of the 54-day novena. Take this on as well for Therese and the blog, that it goes far and wide and helps many, many souls. I want that for you, Therese, because I love the fact that it's so strongly Catholic, and it can really help so many souls. And I pray that it just blossoms. So thank you for sharing it with us today.
Yeah, thank you, Therese, very much. 833-288-3986. Anything goes from your heart or your mind on the program here. Whatever you'd like to talk about. Greg in Rochester, you're going to be next, followed by Randy. We've got Mary and Renee and Gail. We're going to get to all of you, God willing, here on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie on Unscripted. Stay with us, please.
Father Benedict Groeschel.
No Catholic can support abortion, and that Catholics are responsible to take serious action against legalized abortion.
The leading Catholic voices are on EWTN Radio.
This is Life Issues with Brad Mattis, president of Life Issues Institute.
A recent study published in the Journal of Adolescent Health is a thinly veiled attempt to get men to support abortion. The team at the University of Utah announced male adolescents are abortion beneficiaries because they reap financial career benefits from staying in college. Clearly, they're trying to appeal to the male self-interest. What women really need is the father of her baby at her side, supporting her and the child. Non-invasive blood tests can now be done early in pregnancy to determine paternity of the baby. And a woman is more likely to choose life if she knows she's not alone. This technology could advance laws that require accountability from fathers to provide child support during the time of pregnancy and beyond.
Follow us on Twitter at Life Issues USA and stay informed, more informed than you've ever been.
The wisdom of Mother Angelica.
A very wonderful woman I knew had 4 children, and all 4 died. And somebody went up to her one day and they said, "Oh, what a pity." And she said, "Oh, no, what a blessing." If we don't begin to look at everything with the eyes of Jesus, you will become helpless and hopeless.
For more information on Mother Angelica, visit Religious Catalog at EWTNRC.com.
Hi, this is Dr. David Anders. Are you interested in the Catholic faith and want to know more? Listen to the Best Of on Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern. Now, back to Take Two with Jerry and Debbie.
This is our very popular monthly Unscripted. We ask you to call in. You can ask us anything, revisit past shows, suggest future topics. We have the notebook open. We're ready to add some to the show calendar, so you could help us at 1-833-288-3986. But let's move back to the phones, and Greg has been waiting so patiently in Rochester, New York, listening on the Station of the Cross. Hi, Greg. Welcome. Hello, Greg.
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, yeah, we can hear you.
Hello? Okay.
We can hear you, yes.
I just had a simple prayer request. Been married for 3 years, and my wife has announced that she's leaving, and I just pretty devastated, and I just would like to request some prayer for strength and hopefully reconciliation if it's possible.
Okay, well, Greg,
also maybe some advice on how long I should pursue the reconciliation prayer too. Mm-hmm. It's been about 6 months since she announced it. I'll let you guys speak.
Okay, well, stay with us though, Greg. A couple questions just for clarification purposes. You said 23-year marriage. Are there children? I'm just curious.
3 children.
3 children. Okay. Okay, so Greg, have you been to helpourmarriage.org yet? Helpourmarriage.org. Have you been to that? That's the Retrovi site.
I have inquired about various marriage help sites, including that one. It would be one-sided. It wouldn't involve my wife at all. She just doesn't want to be married, so I don't know if you could do it with just one person. I don't think you can. I think we need both of us to participate in it, and she refuses.
She refuses right now. Okay, we'll keep that.
Right now.
Okay, yeah, because okay, so what I would suggest is hang on and fight as hard as you can to save the marriage. Okay, because it has a very, detrimental ripple effect on the children. I can tell you that. I'm living proof of that. My children suffered greatly. They changed the day that the marriage ended. They completely changed forever. So I would say fight as hard as you can. I would try to bring in as many Christian counselors as you can for you, or for both, or for you and your wife if you can, or even you and the children, something to keep the family unit together. I would also still go back to helpourmarriage.org and talk to one of the lead coaches there, or the lead trainers there, just to find out, what are your options. I would definitely get as many people as possible with you and pray the novena Lady Undoer of Knots. And I mean, pray it several times if you have to, 9 days, and then do it again, but get a lot of people. Okay. And because Our Lady can really help in this situation. I would also ask you to pray ask your guardian angel to go to her guardian angel and start knocking some sense into her, because she's walking away from a family, and there's repercussions to that. I can tell you that. And it's not good. The grass is not greener, and it's not good. But I would just say, if it were me, I would hang on, get strong in your faith, Greg. Really get rooted in prayer. Surround yourself with everything you can possibly do with the sacraments and adoration, so that you're very strong, very solid through this, whatever the outcome would be. Because ultimately you can't force her to stay, but you can do everything possible to try and keep the family unit together. What do you think?
I think that's pretty much where I am now. I see why God has allowed this to happen, because I definitely become stronger in my faith, and I'm very, very blessed in that, and feel very fortunate. But there's still the profound sadness that's there, and I'm gonna take your advice and do those things you told me to do. Thank you.
Yeah, and Greg, please know of our prayers. I know that the whole world is praying for you right now, because the Take Two with Jerry and Debbie family is a praying family first and foremost. And Debbie, I can't do chapter and verse, you can. With God, all things are possible. That's
Matthew 19:26.
Yeah, Matthew
and also
19:26.
Everything is possible for those who believe. That's Mark.
Yeah, and Greg, her heart
9:23.
can be changed. God alone knows if that's going to happen, but it's easy to hear the despondency in your voice there. And please just try to be strong. You surround yourself. If you got some buddies that you hang out with or something, or anybody that can help you, that you can talk to, Greg, that you can really just open up and dump on, and they're not going to judge, or they're just going to be there to support you and just be a friend. That's what you need right now, is that kind of support. So.
Absolutely.
Right.
And can I ask one other thing, Greg? Is she a practicing Catholic, your wife?
Not anymore, unfortunately.
Oh, no. Okay. Then we need to pray. She's going down a path, Greg, that's not good. I can just tell you. I don't know what the reason is, but it's just not good. When you start to turn away from the faith and things are happening, you introduce other things into your life that seem more attractive. Okay, she's not going to be happy. She's not. So Greg's wife, if you're listening right now, I'm telling you, please think about this. Really think hard about this. Pray about it, and be open to reconciling with your husband and your family. You're a family. Everybody thinks with divorce, you can just take the family with you. That's not true. Your family's broken forever. It's broken. So it's not, people have this misconception that it's no big deal. I had my kids. I can take my kids and go on to a new life. Not true. So Greg, we're with you in prayer. Please keep us posted. I'm going to be super worried about you and your family. And just know that the Take Two family is already texting in. They're saying they're praying for you, Greg. So I hope you can feel those prayers.
I pray for you guys as well. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Greg. Do keep in touch if you wish at take2@EWTN.com. Some emails here. This first one is from Kimberly. Kimberly says, I find myself easily irritated with life, people mostly. I am in the process of consecrating myself to Mary, and I was warned the devil would be busy trying to distract me. 8 years of infertility has been so hard. A broken relationship with my mother. Any tips? So Kimberly is going through a few challenges right now, Debbie.
Well, I don't know if I'm the best person to answer this because people irritate me now these days too. So, I mean, because I just think the world is acting really strange. There's a lot, I mean, there's great people out there, don't get me wrong. But sometimes you talk to people and it's like, okay, are you really here right now? I mean, it's kind of strange. So I'm not the best person. Why don't you answer, Kimberly?
Kimberly, thank you so much. And I would say regarding the, being irritated with life and with people, I think that's just naturally going to happen. What I try to do, and maybe you can try this, and Debbie knows this as well too, is just as we view other people, just try and realize that saying that I love to say, it's a quote from centuries ago, and I can't remember who said it now, but everyone you meet is engaged in a battle you know nothing about. Be kind always. And so we just need to try to realize that everybody in the world is just suffering right now. They're seeking right now. They're looking for meaning. They're looking for purpose. And so I do my best, and I do it very imperfectly, but I try to just affirm people and acknowledge them and their dignity and so forth. So, Kimberly, maybe that's something you can do there. The infertility, there is the Pope Paul VI.
Too.
Yeah, Saint Gerard, my patron. I'm named after Saint Gerard, Kimberly. Pray to him. He is the patron saint of expecting mothers, but also I'm sure he would be able to help you out. And as I mentioned, the Pope Paul VI Institute, look that up online. I'll try and get the link to that here in a moment. Mm-hmm. And then a broken relationship with your mother, I would say pray for her. Live your faith as fervently as you can. Love her in any circumstance, in any context that you get the opportunity to do that, and let the Holy Spirit do the rest.
And ask your guardian angel to stay close to her guardian angel. You'll stay connected that way. There's a way to do it. I love how you said that, Jerry. And I do that as well. You know, when I see somebody, when I meet somebody, when I'm running errands and something, and they just kind of seem like they're not very nice. I always think, something's going on in their life. Something is happening, I'll say a quick prayer. So I do that as well. But it's really tough though, because you want people just to be friendly, just to be happy, because we're in a world that's a suffering world. And so you want a little bit of kindness, and it's not always there. So it can be a tough thing.
By the way, Kimberly, that link to the Pope Paul VI Institute in Nebraska is doing amazing work with couples who are infertile and having difficult times, and they do it very naturally. No, immoral nonsense or anything like that. Their website is Pope Paul VI for the Sixth. He's now Saint Pope Paul VI, but it's Pope Paul VI for Sixth.com, and you will find great information on that website that will help you, I'm sure. And we'll be praying, absolutely be praying for you.
Okay, up next is Renee, and Renee is in San Antonio, Texas on Guadalupe Radio Network. Hi, Renee. There's so many calling in from San Antonio today. I don't know what's going on today, but it feels good. Hi, Renee. Welcome.
Hi, and thank you. My sister died of breast cancer last week, and I think of Jerry and I know about his sister, but I told God I wanted to draw attention to using only alternative treatment. And I just happened to be off today and felt I needed to call in, because don't get me wrong, alternative is good. Vitamins, good nutrition, all that is good. Nothing wrong with it, but it's not a cure for cancer. And my sister was very misguided, and she solely used alternative and no Western medicine. And I just wanted to pray for people who are misguided by alternative treatments exclusively, just to be open to Western medicine, to use both. Because she might still be here today, and I just wanted to say this in my sister's memory. Thank you.
Oh, Renee, we are so sorry. So very sorry. Could you share her name with us so I can put her in the book? Because I know the Take Two family wants to pray for her and your family.
Thank you. It's Denise.
Denise. And how old was Denise?
58.
Oh.
She'll be 59 on October 5th.
Oh, too young. Too young.
Yeah. Right, and she has 4 beautiful girls. They're adults, but it's really hard on them. They're young.
Oh, my goodness. Renee, was she your only sister? Do you have other siblings?
I have another sister younger than her, and then I have 2 older brothers. And God cured me of cancer twice, wow. 8 years apart. And I used chemo, and I was guilty because I'm here and she's not, and she's younger, and I couldn't get through to her. And I want to get through to all the people out there, please. Alternative is not a cure. It's good, but please be open to Western medicine. it helped me and, of course, the Lord. And all is well. God allowed me to be at her bedside and tell her I miss her, I love her before she died. I got the priest to get her the last rites before she died. And so all that is wonderful, and I thank God for that. I thank him so much for that. But I feel like I need to use my voice to help people. Don't just use alternative. It's good, but please be open to Western medicine.
Wow.
Yeah, go ahead, Deb.
Your heart is breaking, and we can hear it, and we just want to, if we could give you a big hug right now and just let you cry it all out. Renee, this is so raw for you right now because she just passed away, and there's so much happening with her daughters and your family and the grieving and how you're feeling about you going through cancer and you making it to the other side, but your sister didn't. Your sister didn't make it. The only thing that I could say is, sometimes when, we all have free will, so we all can make choices, of what we decide for our life. And, Renee, I just wanted to say, your sister Denise, she's closer to you now than if she was fully alive here on earth. She's closer to you now. Always remember that, especially when you're at Mass, especially during the Eucharist, especially in Christ. She's so close to you. And so, I just pray that the good Lord allows her to be listening to this right now and to hear her sister, cry those beautiful tears for her. I mean, the love you have for your sister. Wow. I'll tell you what, you have a great family, and you'll get through this. And I believe Denise is gonna continue her ministry work on the other side. And you know what? It'll feel better. It'll never feel great. Okay, but it'll feel better in about a year, 2 years, as you start to see things unfold and you remember Denise and celebrate her life with her daughters. So I just wanted to say, Renee, we just love you and we're sending you prayers for your entire family right now. Jerry?
Well, yeah, I was going to let Renee comment there, but all I would say, Renee, is just I agree with you. Debbie and I are both big on natural approaches to health and medicine and so forth, and alternative things and all that. But and neither of us gets neither of us goes to an extreme on that. We both are very, very open to Western medicine and medications and so forth when they're needed. And I think with certain things that we deal with, like minor health issues and so forth, maybe a little bit of high blood pressure, we can do some natural stuff and this and that. Maybe certainly can take medications, but obviously with something like cancer, I'm so sorry that your sister got apparently the advice that she did and just kind of closed herself off to receiving treatment that might have been beneficial in that situation. So our prayers, Renee, as Debbie said. Do you have anything else you wanted to add before we let you go?
Thank you, Debbie, for everything you said. It's so true. I know she is on the other side, and hopefully she's prayed for people in her situation. And thank you, Jerry, so much for everything you said, and thank you for your show, and God bless you and everybody at EWTN. I really appreciate it. I just felt guilty because I couldn't get through to her. But
no, don't,
so
Renee.
Please don't, Renee. Yeah,
Renee,
go ahead, Deb.
don't do that to yourself. Please don't do that to yourself. Okay, you may think about it. You may have gotten through to her, and she may have done a treatment and still may not have worked. Okay, don't do that to yourself. That's not what. That's not what Denise would have wanted. Trust me, that's not what she would have wanted.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Bye.
You're very welcome,
Bye.
Renee.
Bye, Renee.
Let's help her pray those tears away, folks. Very, very tough. I know. It's been 2.5 years since my sister went, and there was just nothing we could do either in that situation. She did get traditional medical treatment and various things. They were never even really able to treat her because she couldn't treat the cancer because her kidneys just wouldn't cooperate. So. Right. Anyway, yeah, that's a tough call. But Renee, you got lots of prayers around you. Yeah, go ahead, Deb.
And grieving takes a long time. You can't just expect somebody to jump out of that. In a couple months. It could take years. Randy called earlier and then dropped, and he called back, and we're so glad. So Ryan put you at the front of the line, Randy, in Cincinnati, Ohio, on Sirius XM 130. Welcome, first time caller.
Hi, Randy. Welcome.
Yes, I listen often. It's just the first time I called in. I guess it was last week or week before, we were talking about the Amazon commercial and how people thought about that. And initially, my initial reaction was prejudged, of course, and I was furious that somebody would include something so special to us all in a commercial use. But But then watched the commercial a couple times and kind of digested it and saw what was going on. And it kind of occurred to me that there was nothing that really said that he is the one that chose the Ave Maria to listen to. He may have been on a streaming, and that's what the Lord determined he needed to hear. And it kind of grabbed me.
Randy, Debbie and I were just typing to each other that neither of us is familiar with the commercial, but as you spoke and you mentioned the Ave Maria, I remember I've seen it one time, but the gist of the commercial does not stick in my head well enough to comment on it. Can you flesh it out in like 30 seconds for us?
Yeah. It shows a modern family with kids in their bedrooms, playing drums, jumping up and down on beds, and you could only imagine the level of noise and I don't know what excitement that was going on in the air. And I guess the father laid down on his bed in the bedroom and put his earphones on, his noise-canceling headphones from, I guess, Bose or whichever company, and took and all of a sudden, all of the noise, all of the excitement, all of the triggers for anxiety just went away, and the Ave Maria started playing, and was very soothing, and it just kind of occurred to me that there's nothing that says that he was the one that actually chose the Ave Maria. Maybe the Lord chose that because that's what his soul and mind needed at that time to calm him.
Right. Randy, I do recall the commercial. I actually saw it. I was passing by the TV set. I saw it, and I actually said to my husband, I said, "Wow, look at that! They're using the Ave Maria to sell, whatever they're selling." And then right after I said that, I thought, well, you know what? The Ave Maria is out there. Other people will pick, because I'll tell you what, the Ave Maria sticks in your head. It really is one of those hymns that just makes you remember it and you recall it. And I thought, well, okay, Our Lady's out there, and the song is out there. So I kind of flipped it around. I did a Jerry. I kind of flipped it around and I said, okay, but I don't know if that's what you're referring to, but were you at first offended that they used the Ave Maria, Randy?
Yeah, initially I thought exactly that they're using the Ave Maria for a commercial purpose when it means so much to all of us Catholics. Mm-hmm. And then I started thinking about it a little deeper, and the Lord being all-knowing, all-caring, all-loving, right, he knew this was going to occur, right? So it just gave me a different way to maybe think about it. And like we were talking earlier, in these days, in this day and age, with everything in turmoil the way it is, I guess any little bit of our Lord coming in and maybe making somebody think or take a breath before they make a poor decision, anything like that definitely has a positive aspect to it. Not saying that it's the greater aspect or the only aspect, but it definitely does have some positivity to it. So
yeah,
that's basically what I was thinking. And,
thank you, Randy. Go ahead. Okay.
And on the other discussion on the rosary, my father told me to. I'm a very visual thinker. He told me to say it fast enough to think about what you're saying and try to visualize it in your mind as you're saying it to fully get the full meaning of it. And that's all I wanted to add on that topic.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thanks for bringing that. Yeah, we see a lot of examples of how the Catholic Church and our faith and symbols and things that we hold dear are utilized in various ways, Debbie, in commercials and things like that. Our call screener, Ryan, just reminded us that, and as Randy described, it's just this chaotic, noise-filled house, and the father of the house, wants to escape all of that, Debbie, so he puts his headphones on and he's got the Ave Maria, and Ryan reminded us that at the end of that, the tagline is peace delivered. Mm-hmm. And when you think about that, I mean, if they're putting the Ave Maria in a light of being able to provide peace in our lives, I wouldn't be completely against something like that.
Right. And it doesn't sound like I only saw it quickly, the commercial, but it doesn't sound like they disrespected the Ave Maria. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't remember anything disrespectful of the faith in the spot, but I'd probably have to look at it again. And by the way, on the Catholic.com forums, there's a really, I think, a good discussion going on that. So if anybody wants to just do a search, Catholic.com or Catholic Answers Forums, Amazon commercial Ave Maria, something like that, and you'll find it.
Well, and you have to think about this too, okay? If people haven't heard the Ave Maria, when you hear it on a commercial, when you're watching TV, it does subliminally get into your kind of get into your being, right? So maybe people would have Google search. It'd be interesting to see if the Ave Maria was like trending or whatever. People were looking at it to try and look up the song, right, Jerry? I mean, because there's people that haven't heard it. We heard it because we grew up Catholic,
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to, I don't know if we have time for other calls. We got about 2 minutes before the music. But we did hear via email from Stantal Madison. Debbie emailed us. And she says, "Hi, Jerry and Debbie. This is Stantal Madison from Augusta, Georgia. I wanted to say hello and give you a quick update as I try to do every so often. Our little Augustin that I was pregnant with on the Stantal retreat, and they had trouble conceiving and bearing children before, is doing wonderfully and is now 13 and a half months old, and he is going to be a big brother." She says, "I'm 11 weeks pregnant. Praise God." And she sends a picture of little Augie there. So she's going to have, isn't that beautiful?
Congratulations. Oh, I bet her mom is so thrilled. That is awesome.
An adorable picture this is.
What a beautiful family, I'll tell you. Thank you for keeping us updated. That is awesome. Can we just very quickly, Janie in Abilene, Texas, you have a quick prayer request, and our show on Monday is Whom or What Are You Praying For? So we want to quickly get to you because you have an urgent prayer request, Janie, on Guadalupe Radio Network, first-time caller. Go ahead.
Yes, this is Janie, and kind of hard for me right now, but I'm trying not to cry. I wanted to say a prayer request for my dad. We were just told that he got colon cancer, and we've never really been sick. I give the Lord a lot of praise for that. And this is our first time that we ever had really an illness in our family like this, our immediate family. And I want to just ask for prayer. And it was a coincidence that I was told one day this week that my dad had cancer, so we stayed up there all day with him at Abilene Regional. And then I was on my way home, and I was looking for the A1 channel, Christian channel, so I can, at least sing and be happy, and open my heart, because I was really sad. And but y'all came on, and I heard something say Father Beal. And I thought, I have to leave it there because I was just recently introduced to Father Beal.
Janie, we're going to have to leave it there. I apologize. You know what? We're going to pray for your dad, and we're going to start right now and pray every day for your dad and your family. It can be a traumatic thing when that happens. And on Monday, it's a good lead-in because, Janie, if you want to call back, everybody, get your prayer intentions in your hearts and lined up and ready for Monday, because our Monday is our monthly Whom or What Are You Praying For program.
Make sure you check out our Saturday Best of After Jesus. Who do you believe had the most influence on the world? Until Monday, folks, have a beautiful and blessed day. See you real soon.
Dr. Ray Gurendi, making a commitment to the wives. When the show's on, put the radio under your husband's pillow. The percentage of yes dears will rise. The doctor is in next.
Why do we need Catholic radio? Because not everybody's sitting in front of a computer or watching their television set at home. How about when driving to work? Catholic radio's there for you. I may be a Catholic priest, but I'm still a student of the faith, and Catholic radio helps supply good material, whether it be a question and answer format show, whether it be a show itself on doctrine or theology. I myself, as a priest, am always learning.
Father Wade thinks Catholic radio is important. So should